Hey everybody, Lori Ballen here, real estate agent in Las Vegas, Nevada. I also own a web development company called Ballen Brands, where we produce Ballen real estate websites, lead generation platforms, and I also am a health coach and I coach keto for weight loss. So I'm doing a lot of things on the web. And today I want to talk about how to get reviews showing up on Google search engine with the stars. Now, this came up in one of my client groups where I manage a group for everybody that has one of our Ballen real estate websites, and it came up. How do we get these stars to show up? Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's an example. Yelp. You see how the stars show up under Yelp? Okay. Facebook, you see how those stars show up under Facebook. So the question was, how do we get those to show up as it would with Zillow and all of those? So here's an example of one of my reviews. This here is a review on my real estate website. So let me go ahead and open it so I can show you what the review actually looks like. So here's the person's name. Here's the review, right? And down here, what you're seeing here is Schema Markup. Now, this is going to sound way more complicated than it actually is. And you do not even need to know anything about Schema. I'm going to show you how to do this with a simple software, a plugin for WordPress that makes this all very simple. Now, if you are a more advanced user, go to town on Schema. There's way more advanced plugins, and you can really get fancy with this. But this is basically what this down here is doing is it's telling Google that this is a review. So doing this markup just gives you an extra layer of communication to Google, telling Google that this is a review. Once Google understands that it's a review, you're more likely to get these stars to show up, okay? Now, on my websites, on the Ballen real estate websites, we make this really simple. If you have a WordPress website, you're going to be able to do this. With the Brew, we've already built this in for you, but let me show you how this works. I just got a review a few days ago on Google, okay? We collect our reviews primarily on Facebook and Google, and the reason we do that is because that's where our audience is. If I were spending money on Zillow, I would be collecting reviews on Zillow for sure if I'm sending people there. I do a lot of pay-per-click on Google, and I do a lot of organic earned-in rankings on Google. So for me, it's a natural place for people to go leave their reviews. I also encourage them to leave them on our website, and when they don't, I go in and add them to the website, okay? So here I'm going to take this quote, and I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to go over here to my website. I'm going to click on New Review. Now, this is a Brew feature, meaning we built in this review sector. You won't automatically have this if you just have your own WordPress or you're using another WordPress platform. We built this in, so it has some special features that are unique to Brew. I just want you to understand that as far as this little review sector goes. If you don't have this and you're just using a WordPress, just go into New Post, and you're just going to add this like you would a regular post and make it a review. Okay, so in my case here, I'm going to add the main review to the WYSIWYG, the what you see is what you get editor right here. Okay, now sometimes I might spot a keyword in here and I might go ahead and hyperlink that to a page on my website that helps with that. So for example, home search, I might go ahead and click this little link, and I'm going to send this into Las Vegas homes for sale. Find my page that has Las Vegas homes for sale. Now, this has nothing to do with getting those stars to show up. This is just a little, I always teach whatever I'm doing while I go so that you're kind of seeing a lot of how I do things, okay? Now, the person's name is going to go up here in the title. So I'm going to take that person's name and I'm going to put that up here, okay? Now, the summary is going to be some kind of highlight from what they said. So Dave was very helpful in our home search. Since we were relocating from the Midwest, we needed an engaged, I'm going to fix that typo, and responsive and knowledgeable realtor, and Dave was all of that and more. So I'm actually going to take this, engaged, responsive, and knowledgeable realtor. That sounds like a great little review there, okay? Now, I also changed this URL slug, and this is just all SEO 101, search engine optimization. It has nothing to do with those stars. I'm going to put in here, here, I've already got one that says responsive, I remember, so I'm going to put null, no, let me try responsive. Let me see if I don't already have this one, and I'm going to click OK. Now, what happens is when you're changing those slugs, that's going to help you rank for particular keywords. So I don't like that to be generic. I like to be really purposeful about what I want that to say. Okay. Now let's go on to oh wait, hold on. I got to do something else. We've got to add an image. Now, if that person has an image that I can use that is appropriate, I'll go ahead and add that. If not, I use some generic clip art. So let me show you. Set review image. And I've got things like just somebody holding up 5 stars or a thumbs up or something like that that I can use, okay? Like this one here has stars. I can go in here and type in keyword like rating. So I'm using copyright-free software. I use Shutterstock. And I can repeat the same images, or I can go find something new. Okay, let me do this one, 5-star review. Okay. Set review image. All right, now I've got all the major things in there. Now, let me show you what this looks like in a preview right now. So if I were just done now, look how fast that was. I mean, these kind of practices take minutes and really help your website rank well and help send positive signals to Google, okay? And, you know, I think I'm going to just capitalize this as a best practice. I think that would look better if these were capitalized. Okay, let's go that way. Okay, now, what we want next, after we've done all of that, is we want to mark up this review with schema. So scrolling down, all you have to do, this is so simple. I'm using something called all-in-one. Let me see what it's exactly called. Hold on. All-in-one schema. All-in-one schema rich snippets. All-in-one schema rich snippets. This is a free plugin. And when you get your brew with Ballen Brands, we install all this for you. Let me just tell you, there are a lot of other plugins that you can use. There's free ones, there's paid ones. I was paying for one that was super, intense. It was comprehensive. It had a lot more to it. And I tested that one against this free one, and I got the same results out of the free one. So I went back to the free one. I will tell you that there's some features I like more in the paid ones, like the fact that you can make the markup invisible. It's more behind the scenes. It's not on the page. So here, I'll show you what I'm talking about once we put it in. So configure rich snippet. I'm going to go down here now and say, I'm telling Google, this is what this page is about, okay? It's a review. The reviewer's name is going to be this person here, okay? So Colleen is the one leaving the review. Item to be reviewed is Lori Ballen team, okay? So they're reviewing our services. They're reviewing the product. Now, if you're using a more advanced plugin, you're going to have more options on that review. You're going to be able to say they're reviewing this business, right? This particular case is just an item review, and it still works, and I don't believe it's spammy at all because it's the option that we have, and it's working, okay? All those ands. So they left us a 5-star review, so I'm going to select 5. What you don't want to do is be fake. Don't add reviews that aren't appropriate. Don't hire somebody from Fiverr to go in and leave you a bunch of fake reviews. Okay, these should be real reviews. All right. Now, let's go look at what this looks like now. I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and I'll show you what I mean about it being on the page, just so that you know you have options. All right. So I'm going to click View Review. All right, so here's that little subheading we put up here. Now here's the review itself. Here's the 5 stars, and here's the little box, okay? Now this box comes directly from the all-in-one schema plugin. You do have some options as far as the colors and the setting. They're limited, okay? I did not like how this looked in any form with how it came from the Schema plugin. So I had my developers go in and change the CSS to be a little bit more seamless, to have it match a little bit more with the website, okay? So that is, there are lots of options where you can make the background white, you can change the title colors, however you want that box to look. If you do your own CSS where you're changing the colors, great, go in and play with that. Colors and size. I also didn't like how it was kind of not the full width of the page. So the little box was kind of cutting off right here. And I just personally wanted it more seamless. So that's a personal choice. It's not a Google. It doesn't matter with Google. It does none of that. It just matters how you want your website to look, okay? So if you already are one of my clients and have a brew and have the all-in-one schema and you've played with it and you don't like how it looks, you can contact my team to edit that. There is a charge for custom design, for custom CSS. So you can contact Jeff and find out at ballenbrands.com what that would cost you. But this isn't anything too comprehensive, so it wouldn't be too bad. And then from here, of course, I can share the review on Facebook, which I will do right now. You know, there was one other thing I forgot to do, and it's a best practice. Let me just show you this. I'm going to click Edit Review. For some reason, I forget this quite often. There is a spot where you can change the meta description or snippet. Okay, that is what shows up when you share something like this. Oh, now we're going to get silly. All right, now Facebook isn't showing me what I want it to be. The little description, okay, that shows up there. So if you scroll down here, it's in your excerpt section usually. So what I have kind of a generic here, meta description, but we want this to maybe feed the actual review. So I'm going to go ahead and put that review in the excerpt. And I'm also going to go down here to my Yoast if you're using Yoast, and I'm going to change that as well. And then I'm going to go back and set it in the default so that I never have to do that again because I didn't realize it was pulling from there. So now I can hit update, and then next time when I share that to Facebook, the actual review will show up in the review box rather than a generic description. I know that there's a lot of steps to all of this. However, I will tell you that when you learn how these are done, or this is stuff you can hire a virtual assistant for. You can have your admin do this. You can maybe train the agents on your team to do this. None of this is super complicated. It's just steps. And once you learn what these steps are, getting things to rank on the search engines the way you want them to isn't that hard. Just remember this. This does not guarantee you get those little stars. There's nothing that guarantees that you're going to get anything with Google. Rankings or site links or you know, showing up in a carousel, or all of these things that we want to have happen, earning a feature-rich snippet, having the description look a certain way, having the title look a certain way. There's best practices for all of it. None of it is guaranteed. So the best that you can do is apply all the best practices and then test and measure for what's working for you and do more of that, okay? Things are constantly changing, constantly evolving. Google, Bing, all of the search engines are forever changing, and you have to be adaptable and just kind of follow the trends. I'm Lori Ballen, and I would appreciate your real estate referrals in Las Vegas, Henderson, and North Las Vegas. And if you're looking to get a fantastic real estate website, a lead generation platform, check us out at ballenbrands.com.